Welcome to the Full Service with Mr. Full Service. So there was just a shooting down in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, the mainstream media, of course, has jumped on the story, labeling it as a racially motivated mass shooting. And that's pretty convenient. It's just in time for the upcoming election cycle. Check this out.
The Office of the Medical Examiner has positively identified the shooter as Ryan Christopher Palmetter. The shooter was 21 years of age when he committed yesterday's atrocities. He lived with his parents in Orange Park in Clay County, Florida. To our knowledge, he had no criminal arrest history. And as I said yesterday, he did have a Baker Act petition from 2017.
The Baker Act itself allows for an individual to be detained for medical observation after something like a mental break, just in case you are wondering what that was.
This petition occurred in Clay County, and it appears that the shooter was held for 72 hours under the Baker Act provisions and then released without further involuntary commitment. At 1:08, an 11-round shot spotter activated. At 1:08 and 13 seconds, the suspect's on video in the parking lot in front of the store, shooting into a black Kia and murders the first victim, Miss Angela Carr. The suspect enters the Dollar General store and engages the second victim. I saw a young 19-year-old victim, Anolt Laguerre. At 1:09 and 50 seconds, the first 911 call goes out. At 1:10 and 30 seconds, victim Jared Gallion enters the store with his girlfriend. At 1:13 and 5 seconds, one round shot spotter initiates once again. At 1:13 and 10 seconds, the suspect shoots a third victim, Gerald Gallion. At 1:18, the suspect texts his father and says, "Use a screwdriver to get into my room." The father enters the room and finds a last will and testament of the suspect along with a suicide note on his laptop. At 1:19 and 21 seconds, the officers enter the building and begin to clear. Just 11 minutes after this whole ordeal began. Patrol clearing the hallway when officer hears a single gunshot. We believe that's when he killed himself. From what I'm understanding from our lieutenant here, he let several people out of the store. Why, I don't know. Some of them were white, but I do believe there was a couple that were not. But what I'm telling you is, where it stands right now, there was nothing that we could have done to stop him from owning a firearm, a rifle, or a handgun. There was no red flags.
So let me summarize this for you. This mentally disturbed individual goes into the Dollar General and begins to wreak havoc. They say in his room was covered with swastikas and racist paraphernalia, right? Goes in and shoots 3 people and then takes his own life. Now, we don't know any of his other motivations other than just to kill black people. Now, allegedly, he had driven by a historically black university right before going to the store and committing this atrocity. Now, my thoughts and prayers go out to the families of all the victims. Now, my issue comes from the way that the national news is labeling this as, of course, a mass shooting and or a racially motivated. This attack is, of course, being used for political gain. It's going to turn into one of two things. Either this is going to be an attempt from the left at gun grabbing again. And you heard the sheriff say that there was nothing that they could have done to keep this man from obtaining a gun, which is another reason why I always tell people that these red flag laws don't work, because most of these perpetrators don't have any, or this will be used to polarize the racial animosity between white and black people in this country. Recently, Reverend P.M. Smith just went on to the Lawrence Jones show, and this is what he had to say.
Is making national news. I'm in Baltimore. I'm in the inner city. This is making national news as a mass shooting only because the shooter was white, or if it had been a police officer. It would be mass shooting, racially motivated. I'm in Baltimore. We have a mass shooting every weekend. Friday to Sunday, there will be 3 or more homicides. Friday to Sunday, there'll be 10 to 15 non-fatal shootings. So my heart goes out. My prayers for the families who lost lives, and that includes the young man, the sick young man, call him another name if you want, the sick young man who did this. But I'm telling you, in Baltimore, in Detroit, in Chicago, in Philadelphia, in St. Louis, mass shooting, 3 or more homicides is normalized with us. Every week, there'll be 3.
See, just like he said, that's my major issue that I'm having with this kind of story. Okay. We have people dying on the streets daily in the inner cities, but it doesn't get nearly as much publicity nor traction as this does. And these black activists out there are constantly telling us not to talk about black on black violence, but they are quick to jump on the bandwagon when it's white on black violence or police on black violence, which makes absolutely zero sense because that's not even a fraction. It's such a minute fraction, of black homicide. That the black activists, just like the mainstream media, for some reason don't want to bring attention to the main cause of death in young black males. But they are, like I said, so quick to bring attention to the minutest fraction of it. You know what I mean? They'll be the first ones jumping on the front page of a story and bringing attention to it. They want y'all so concerned with white supremacy. It's like Tupac said, it's my own kind doing all the killing here. As long as we stay ignorant to the fact, we will never get anything accomplished. As long as we sit there and try to deny what's right in front of our faces, we won't get anything accomplished. Stupid. You better wake up and realize that you're being played. Anyway, so that has been the Full Service with Mr. Full Service. Make sure before y'all go out, you leave me a comment. Let me know, do you think this is the right thought, or if you don't think that I'm going the right way with this? I'm actually genuinely curious. Also, if you have not done so, make sure you join us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our live show called Simply Sunday. All right? Where we talk about faith and politics. Also, check us out on the Trifecta Hour every 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Fridays on YouTube and Rumble. We have come off of TikTok. So now it's about to get really, really gritty. And I'm happy for that. All right. All right. That has been the Full Service with Mr. Full Service. Appreciate y'all for coming in. Deuces.